Matt, there's one thing I like about you. Well, there's a few things, but one of the things is you see a friend in need and you rush out to help.
Okay.
Alex Baldwin gets charged with, not murder, but manslaughter, and you race out to Vermont just to see if he's there, to see if he's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how is he?
I haven't been able to find him. I'll be honest.
No?
No.
Oh.
No.
Hope he'll be okay.
It's a bit snowy. I hope he didn't wander off into the cold. I mean, I should check the Starbucks. I think he was definitely seen coming out of the Starbucks last time.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
All right. You go check out the Starbucks, see if he's there, and you report back to us next week.
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
But no, it's
I'm sure
crazy
nobody else is looking for him right now.
Check back in, Multiple Nerdgasm exclusive interview.
Yeah. I mean, he was handing them out when this happened, so you never know.
He was handing them out when he shouldn't have been.
I know. So he's being charged. I think, I can't tell. It says they're facing charges. I'm like, are they charging him or not? Him and
the armourer.
Helena Hutchins, the armourer, are being charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Involuntary manslaughter. Which,
yeah. I mean,
we
I
need
guess
charges when it come.
he did do it in that sense. He is the one that was holding the gun when it did the thing that did the damage, so.
I don't know how far his would go. I think the armourers will go a lot further.
That's what I would imagine, but then who knows? I really don't know. I think there are people on the internet who think he literally tried to murder her for some mysterious reason that they don't know either, which baffles me. So,
the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people who really think he went out of his way to murder her, but no reason
it's
why.
He caused the problem for himself because he did that interview where he said he didn't pull the trigger, and that just got everybody's goat for some reason, especially the gun people over here who are like, "That's not how that gun works, mate."
It works. Yeah. That's why I still don't understand why he did that interview. If he did, all he'd say is, "Look, a terrible accident happened. We're looking into it." That's it.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things, right, where I think if I was in that situation and I saw people saying a bunch of horrible shit about it online, I'd be like, no, I want to clear it up.
Yes. But that's why you hire people to go.
I feel like I would also, because I do think that's probably a bad idea, right? And I would, and surely people would be agreeing with me and saying, yes, that is a bad idea. You should keep your mouth shut. So.
But maybe he didn't listen to people who he pays to say whether it's a good idea or not.
Yeah.
And just went, because I could see him being the type of person who's, no, I'm doing this because I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And I get that, I suppose. But I really think, like I said, that interview I think was a really bad idea because.
Yes.
Like, again, I don't know how he doesn't know this. He would have been in shock, right?
Yes.
You can't trust your memory. Like.
No.
I don't know. Maybe people don't know this, but like I feel like I know this about myself that like maybe I don't remember it correctly. You might not. People are very adamant. Usually they're like, no, that's what happened. Like it might not be. You might not be on purpose misremembering, but especially in a situation like that where you accidentally shot someone. I feel like I'd be like, this is probably one of those situations where maybe I don't remember it properly because I'm literally in shock because the horrible thing happened. And my brain has like gone haywire, and it's like, I'd prefer not to remember that. Thanks.
Yes, because you see him like even after the like there's that photo of him like sort of after the incident outside the sheriff's office where he's on the phone, and you can see he's absolutely distraught.
Devastated. That's why I think it does annoy me a bit that people are like, oh, he was up to something, because I don't think he was. He was fucking devastated. Yeah,
I don't know the charges are going. He pays money. That's without a doubt.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't,
because he's producer. So technically, safety is kind of his responsibility on a little bit. It is weird that regard.
Maybe this will come up. I'm sure someone's going to ask this question. It is odd to me that like seems like everybody knew that people were fucking around on set and shooting targets and stuff with the guns when they weren't supposed to be, and it's like everybody except him apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
Well, there's even
Maybe.
like a photo of the armorer just like messing around with the guns on set, like taking photos of herself,
Yeah, apparently,
like brandishing them, and
yeah.
so
That's not a good look.
we'll see.
Mm.
No, and she's also quite young.
Yes. Well, she's the daughter of a very famous armorer, I believe, which, I mean, that's not to say that she's not good at the job, but it seems like she's not good at the job. I'm not, not just because she's not, she's a daughter and it's nepotism or whatever. I'm not saying that. It just seems like she's a bit shit.
The one thing you're in charge of went wrong.
That's right. I think you're probably supposed to make sure people don't get shot.
Like, all you have to do is make sure the gun's not loaded.
Yeah. Just don't put any bullets in it. That's probably the best way to do that. That's what I would do if I was.
I think
that's
like,
legally the requirement is that that's a prop gun. Don't put any real bullets in it ever.
Ever.
Then you don't have a problem.
Why were there real bullets on the set at all?
Well, yeah. Sounds like they were just fucking around, which is real fucking stupid. So,
yes.
And it's a horrible thing to have happened, but hopefully this will prevent it from happening again. At least, hopefully something can come out of this that's, sort of positive.
I think
just stop doing this shit.
I think it's just one of these things that sort of happens, like, because the protocols are in place.
Yeah.
And then people get lax, something bad happens, and then it gets reinforced.
Yes.
So.
Well, it's like, and people talk about The Crow, which was a very different situation. I know we talked about that before. And, I mean, that didn't prevent that kind of thing. I think that kind of thing has happened once before since The Crow. But it certainly would have, I think if you were in that industry, in that job, if you were an armorer, and you heard, they put a what do they call it? The one that looks like a real bullet but doesn't fire, and then they left it in there, and then they put a blank that in there, and it basically you put the two bits together and you've got a bullet, and then they fucked up and he got shot with it. You go, I'll probably do my best to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Doesn't happen.
I don't want that to happen to me. And so you'd be thinking about it every time you're on a shoot. I would imagine you'd be thinking, I don't want to Brandon Lee this guy. I'll check it properly before I put the fucking blank in.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen now. There'll be people in the position going, I'm going to definitely make sure.
Like if I was an actor and someone handed me a gun and said, yeah, it's what do they say? Clear? I forget the phrase. I'd be like, are you sure? Yeah? I can point this at somebody without fear of fucking something horrible happening?
There's still the people out there going, he should have known because of the weight and he should have.
Yeah. Look, there's an argument to be made that they should have more experience with them if they're going to do that, but he's an actor, right? Like, maybe, but that's not his job.
But
at the moment, there is no expectation that he would be a fucking gun expert. He's got gun experts on set to do that. He doesn't need to do that. Well, apparently he does, but he's not supposed to need to.
Yeah, let's get on to something a bit more. It's better news. It's still not great, but Wizards of the Coast, they've backed down a little bit.
They have. The crowds are not fully satisfied, but they have. Yeah, we talked last week about the changes they made. Well, they didn't make them yet. The document.
They didn't make it. Yeah, and I think that document getting leaked made things worse. I think people are still going to be upset for a while, even though it's not as bad as what they thought it was going to be. Well, I really don't think they were going to try and go with the path they were going. That may have just been a
There's a couple of aspects to it, which is why people are annoyed, and I think it's not everybody's going to even know about this, so that's probably what they're counting on. But the main thing is that they've released now the official thing that's going to be the new rules, and it doesn't have any of the royalty stuff or any of that kind of stuff in it. I don't know. I haven't read through it because I think it was earlier today they did this?
Yeah, it's only sort of just come out. I haven't finished it yet either.
So, but I know that they took out all the royalty stuff and the most egregious things people were upset about. And it doesn't anymore have any language where they're claiming that they can retroactively make it so that stuff you released before is now under this license, because I don't think
that was a huge thing to go, hey, all this stuff that we said you could do before, you now owe us money for.
Yeah, I don't think they can do that.
Look, there is some stuff I think they should be able to do, like I think one of the things what they were trying for is like people who were sort of making over like $500,000 from stuff. They would have to. They were saying 20%, which I think is a bit over the top.
Yeah. Look, I get it.
I could see
a comment that got made. I forget who by was it. Something that Dungeons and Dragons is heavily under monetized. Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
But that's kind of why it's so popular. Is because you can kind of just do whatever you want with it.
Look, I think if they would have dropped that down to like 2% or something for
sure,
I think that's reasonable for because you're still in that universe, and if you still want them to keep going and printing, and which still helps with your stories, then I think that's fair. But when they came out at 20%,
yeah. But so I ditched all that now. There is some again. I don't know the exact specifics, but they've been tweeting. Some people were angry about certain things, and they're kind of like they're doing that. They call it like a straw man, where it's like they're presenting a version of the thing people were upset with that's not as bad as the way that people there actually was, and then giving a response to it that doesn't actually address the thing that people were technically upset about. So I don't know that they lost a lot of goodwill there, and I mean, this stuff's not in the new like licensing agreement, but we already saw it, and everybody already knows that. Like, it's kind of like now people will be afraid they'll do it next time or something. You know what I mean? Like
this is a stepping stone there, and
I feel like they've done irreparable damage at this point.
Well, unfortunately, we know that they are going to try and start trying to make money out of this.
Yeah, and like I said, people
the
won't
end goal now.
Use it anymore. Like Paizo, the makers of Pathfinder and Starfinder, have already come out and said that, we've got our new license here too. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And so people will just use that instead now, I'm sure.
Yeah, because there's many out there you can sort of use now, and it is you build your own world really, so it doesn't matter. You just need a core set of rules and someone who's got a good imagination. Exactly,
yeah. And then if the company that made the rules can one day, that's the problem, is that they've now put this little seed. They've incepted people with this idea that one day, they're not doing it now. They've said, oh no, we changed our minds. We're not going to do it now. But one day they might turn around and try to take the thing that you made from you and take a bunch of money from you and fuck you over. So why would people choose to start with that anymore if they don't have to? It's just bad move. There's a little bit of follow-up money. Just because I mentioned last week Acquisitions Incorporated and how I didn't think that they were being paid because they had made a comic about it, and they actually elaborate on that a bit in the related blog post to the article. And they Jerry basically says, most people are surprised to learn that they don't get paid to do Acquisitions Incorporated at all. They're just allowed to do it. And I was like, oh, so it's like funny, right? Because it's basically free advertising for Dungeons and Dragons, but they didn't see it that way because it was like, we're allowed to do, it'd be like if, George Lucas had said, no, you guys can make a Star Wars movie. That's fine. Like, but like, I'm not going to pay you to do it, but you can do it. And actually, you know what? They did do that. They did have the fan film thing. So I guess it's very similar in that sense, except now it's kind of like, it makes it seem even more shitty that they're now like, no, you have to pay us. And it's like, hang on a minute. We gave you free advertising for how long have they been doing that for? 10, 15 years or whatever. And now you're going to turn around and say, we owe you money? The fuck? So, yeah, I don't know. And I love Mike and Jerry. Jerry comes down and says, they did it because it's fun, and that's why they still do it, because it's fun. It was never about the money. And so now it's just it's just a bit dirty now. Money's come into it and it's gotten dirty. It's like, gross. Yeah.
Because people want more money. No matter how much money they have, they want more.
Well, yeah, I think we mentioned this last week too. Hasbro is not financially as well as they have.
What does Hasbro really do?
Hasbro? Well, they own everything. What do you mean? They make toys and like they own Transformers, they own He-Man, they own My Little Pony, they own a lot of stuff. When I went to HasCon, there was stuff that I was like, oh yeah, Hasbro owns everything. They own Magic the Gathering. Obviously, we talked about that last week too.
Well, Magic the Gathering, that'd be... board games. Are they making new board games? Because don't they sort of like Monopoly and stuff?
Yeah.
Like
the classic ones I meant. I didn't mean like...
Yeah.
I didn't mean the good ones.
Maybe they should invest into branching out into...
Yeah, maybe.
Helping other people make board games.
Oh, I had to sign an NDA. But hang on. I think I can say they do, because I played one at a testing session at Hasbro. I think I'm allowed to say that. I don't think I have to... I just can't say what it was.
Double check your NDA.
No, I think it's fine. I can say that I went to Hasbro to do testing for a game, and it was a game that you would consider, it's a new game that people probably wouldn't even know was published by Hasbro. So, yeah, I can say that. That's fine.
A good game. Not a game you grew up playing as a kid.
Actually, and quite a popular property that I definitely can't say what it is, but it's a popular property that people would like. Oh, you know, like how... I'm sure I can say this. You know, like the Cyanide Happiness games come out, everyone likes them because it's a popular property. Exploding Kittens, something along those lines, like a fun party game of a thing that you would know from the internet.
So they're starting to branch out, though, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Which I think that's a better way to go.
Yeah.
And maybe doing something... He-Man, I think you just let that die.
Yeah, people got mad about that new He-Man series, right?
The Kevin Smith one.
Yeah. I don't remember why. Because they hate women?
My Little Ponies, you're fine.
It's always about hating women or some other minority.
Transformers, I think they'd be making money off that, wouldn't they? Even just from the movies.
Yeah, they have... Transformers is still popular, right? I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
They must be.
Michael Bay must be making a new one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, they love that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just they want more money.
Yeah, of course they do. Sorry, I'm thirsty. I'm just going to crack open this $400 bottle of Logan Paul's Prime.
Prime. His sweat goes into that drink.
Oh, does it? I just took a sip.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I have already drunk one of these. I got to say, it's not great. Like, it's drinkable. Like, I don't want to die while I'm drinking it, but it's not great. I wouldn't choose to drink this. Like,
is it sort of like it's like a Powerade type, like it's just water, coloured water with lots of stuff in it.
It's got that salty thing that Gatorade has. You know, more so than Powerade, I think. Gatorade has like a salty taste.
Yep.
Yeah, it tastes salty. It's got a very artificial taste to me because it's got sweeteners in it, right? It doesn't have any sugar. It's got what's that shit called? Oh my god, so many chemicals. This is one thing I like about too. 10% coconut water from concentrate, but it says it says 10%. That's probably why they don't sell it in Australia because it's got a bunch of misleading shit written on it.
Yep.
Filtered water, coconut water from concentrate, citric acid, dipotassium phosphate, natural flavor, trimagnesium citrate, sucralose, L-isoleucine, L-leucine, L-valine, D-alpha tocopherol acetate, and then a bunch of other stuff too. But they all sound like that. They're all. I might as well not read them because they all just sound like those words I just said.
Yeah. But people are going crazy for it. Like, in the UK, when they had it at Aldi, there were lines up, there were people fighting to get their stuff on this.
Really?
I need to let Dan know, though. I think I found a place you can get it cheap here. Well, not cheap.
Yeah,
not
right.
America cheap.
Oh, yeah, Dan's not here.
It looks like... Oh, yeah. Sorry, we forgot to tell people.
Yeah. I'm sure they figured it out by now.
$10 a bottle. $10 a bottle. $10 a bottle. And you can't buy it in bulk.
I bought... How many were in that box? 12. I've got 12 of these fucking things. And it was $30.
And there's a limit on the site. Like, even on this site, I can only do a maximum of 12 bottles in an order.
Wow. I've seen him say offhand how everyone keeps asking him, how is it such a good product? How did he manage to make such a good product? Mate, it's fine.
He markets stuff to children.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
And children are stupid.
Him saying that repeatedly on the internet is how it got so popular, I assume.
Yeah. Like, anytime, if you look at his podcast and anything, there's like Prime bottles everywhere. Everyone he's talking to, they're all drinking Prime.
Yeah.
I don't really follow him. I see him from people making fun of him.
Most of the stuff I've seen of him has been because of this CoffeeZilla drama. Oh, by the way, he apologized to CoffeeZilla. Bit of follow up.
Yes. He actually came out and went, I'm sorry, because I think he finally worked out that he wasn't going to win that lawsuit because everything was true. He didn't say Logan Paul was scamming people. He was saying Crypto Zoo was a scam.
Right. Yeah. And
it was. And he did hire criminals.
And he apologized to CoffeeZilla, but he did it on his secondary channel, not on his main channel, and not in any of his main shows. And he left the shows up where he was having a go at CoffeeZilla. They're still up. So it's sort of a way that he's apologized to CoffeeZilla, but his main show doesn't sort of but you're still trashing him over everywhere else. Yeah, stupid.
But CoffeeZilla did a response as well and sort of still called him out for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I like CoffeeZilla.
Yeah.
Until someone digs up some dirt on him.
Which will happen one day.
That would be a shame.
There's a few channels I watch now that are just like, what happens to these YouTube stars? And it's sort of like their rise to fame and then what brought them crashing back down. A lot of it is terrible stuff.
Yeah, like if, like CoffeeZilla also did a bunch of stuff on Sam Bankman-Fried and, the, what's that company? FGX?
Yeah,
whatever. People will know what I'm talking about. And
the crypto...
Exactly, the crypto exchange. Yeah. The big one right now that he ripped. It was basically a scam, a Ponzi scheme. So what happens one day if CoffeeZilla uses all the cred he's built up and then does like the ultimate scam?
Well, I don't know why people still trust crypto. I just don't get it.
Yeah. No, I'm very skeptical of it.
Like, I think what it started off as is not what it's turned into now.
I think the problem is you get, I'm no expert. I think you get con artists, like definitely, because we've had plenty of that. You get people who are just naive and don't understand it and then cause problems for everybody, which might be the category Logan Paul falls into. I don't know. I don't know him personally. Although it does seem a little bit like
don't know. This is his second failed attempt at crypto.
Yeah, it seems like maybe he knows. Oh, he just doesn't give a shit, I think, is the biggest problem. Like, because, in the CoffeeZilla follow-up video from the other day, he was showing how I think in a Discord somewhere, people were like, because they're going to give people money back, but only if you still currently have the bloody CryptoZoo original eggs or whatever.
Yep.
If you still own the tokens, they'll give you money. If you got rid of yours after it all went down the toilet, then you're out of luck.
Bad luck.
And he's like, well, it's not my problem. You made a bad financial decision. It's like, hang on. Yes, it is.
Because he came out, did say sorry. And then, in the comments, he's just still attacking people. I'm not going to continue to be the scapegoat for your poor financial decisions.
Yes.
You're the one who said this is going to be a fun game to make money off.
So I don't
listen to you.
He's certainly not blame. He's just He's just callous about it, I think, is probably the biggest issue. Like, he clearly doesn't give a shit.
And again, it comes down to money.
Yes.
He's got more than enough money to live to the rest of his life on, but he
not
wants
even that.
more.
It's about someone did a video it's about clout, right? I forget who was talking about this. I can't remember. Somebody, maybe it was Destiny or somebody I was watching, and there was a video about how the reason, maybe it was CoffeeZilla, but the reason he's doing it is because if you live in the circles he lives in, there's just this constant requirement that you're always doing new shit and you've got all this stuff going on, and it's like, he literally could just never work again and he'd be happy, except he wouldn't be happy because all the people he surrounds himself with would be like, what are you doing now, mate? Like, who you fucking over this time? And it's like,
but he could just continue just doing his podcast and live off the $10 a bottle he's going to make in Australia from Prime.
I know. Is he going to make it though, or are people on selling that?
They're on.
You know what? I don't care. He's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's not talk about Logan Paul.
No,
anymore.
but speaking of snacks, which this is kind of like a snack. Did you see this article about the Oreos that I assume you'll be eating? Do you like Oreos, by the way?
Yes.
America's favorite
Oreos
cookie, apparently.
They're a terrible cookie because you open a packet and then you eat the packet.
They're not even cookies, really, to me. I know people over here.
They're not cookies. They're biscuits.
Well, yeah, because they're not even like a cookie. I think is like, when I think of a cookie, I think of like a chocolate chip cookie. And I know they call all sorts of biscuits cookies here, and I still really don't know where the divider is. Like here a biscuit is a breakfast thing, but yeah, but I don't think Oreos aren't cookies. They're more like their own thing, right?
Yeah, because they've got the cream in it.
Anyway,
it's not
you
just
can
baked.
now,
oh my god, it's got print. Where do I buy these?
Xbox Oreos.
Microsoft, take my money.
That are presumably the same, but have Xbox stuff on
We've got little pictures on them. Available in 22 countries starting this month while stocks last. I'm going to the website now. First spell on January 16th. Come on, open website. Am I one of the 22 countries? Screw you, Oreo.
You're not?
Not.
Don't worry, because am I in one of the countries?
Oh, you definitely will be.
No. This country is not participating.
What?
In the competition. Unlock playfulness. Wait, so
what countries are then?
Well.
So Microsoft doesn't list the full 22 countries, but it appears to be limited to European markets.
Interesting. I reckon I can probably still get some of these. So I'll...
You could, but it'll cost a fortune.
We'll see. If I can get some, I'll send some to you. Oh, I've got relatives in England. I'll just ask them to get them. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
England's not in Europe anymore either. They Brexited.
I'm pretty sure it's more about the location. It'll be all that sort of
Brexit.
area.
Brexit.
They didn't move the country.
No, they did. They did. They Brexited Europe.
Picked up and took their bat and went home.
Yep. To wherever England came from. Oh, anyway, I mean, these are just Oreos that have different designs on them. So
yeah, it's going to taste exactly the same.
Yeah. Do you like? Do you like them?
I don't know. I do and I don't.
Okay. I like
them.
I
don't eat them the way you're meant to. Like you're meant to like twist it and lick.
Oh, I don't do that.
Eat them.
No. I just crunch them.
And they're small enough now they just fit
yeah, you just put one in your mouth and you eat it. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But they're one of those things that, like, if I went through my life never being reminded that Oreos existed, I would never eat one. But
if they're there,
or if someone, like now we're talking about it, I'm like, I could go an Oreo. And if I was to buy a packet of them, I'd eat the whole fucking thing.
Yep. It's like, I'll never go out of my way, I want to pick up Oreos, but I'll be walking past and they'll be on sale. And I go,
yes.
Yeah, all right.
Same. I think I've talked about this before. I have a massive issue with Starburst. If Starburst candies are around me, I will seek out and eat all of them. However, if no one mentions them, I'll just forget they exist for the rest of my life.
Yep. It's easy to do, but yeah, no, the second you open that packet's gone. Yeah. There's no chance for those Oreos.
Yeah. Yep. If I remember they're in the house, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Starburst in particular, right? If I grab a handful and I sit at my desk and I eat them and I put the wrappers to the side, I'll be there going, and I'll glance down and I'll be like, oh, that's right. Those wrappers are from the Starburst that I have more of. Yeah.
No point trying to hide them from you.
Yeah. And then I convince myself, well, if you eat them as quickly as possible, they'll be gone and then you won't have to eat any more and you can forget about them again. It's a sickness.
Yeah, that's a great plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you been watching any TV lately?
Because
you have HBO Max, don't you?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I know what you're going to ask about.
I was going to ask about The Last of Us.
I have not watched it. I'm
hearing good things.
Yeah, oh yeah. Apparently it's amazing, and I'm interested in watching it. But the thing with HBO Max is, right, it's so weird. They're doing this thing lately where they're removing all the content. We talked about it a bunch. Like Warner Brothers has gone mad. And
I still don't understand how they're cancelling. They've put the price up. I still don't understand. Like they're cancelling releasing stuff that they've filmed and finished to save money for tax purposes. That just dumbfounds me.
I mean, there must be some nuance to it. I don't understand, but it just seems like if you made Westworld and you've got it, and it's your show that you can have already, and it's done. Why can't people watch it on your service that you're charging them for? And why wouldn't you use that to get more people to pay for it? I don't understand.
Yeah, and if you got to up the price, maybe use that extra money to...
Yeah, I know, and it's like, oh, yeah, we're putting the price up because we've just removed a bunch of stuff, and that was expensive to do, I guess. What?
Yeah.
Like, oh, pay more for less stuff? I don't understand.
No, I really just don't know what to... I will say this, it wasn't a huge price jump.
No. I know, it's more the principle of the thing. It just made me laugh that it's like, there's been all these articles about how there's less and less stuff on there, and even the number one show that, if you had asked me, what do you want to watch on HBO Max? And I had to kind of think about it because I don't always remember the stuff that's on there. It would probably be Westworld that I would think of first. And now it's not, they're getting rid of it. Right now it's Last of Us. And also Game of Thrones, right? They have Game of Thrones? Yeah?
They have Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about that so much, but that would pop into my head too. Anyway.
But they do have Last of Us, which...
Yeah, apparently it's amazing.
I probably won't watch it because I have no interest in it because I've never played it. But I've been reading stuff about it.
Yeah, that's the same. I played a little bit of the game, and it was fine, but it was on a PlayStation, so... Yeah.
So they've taken some artistic license, like they've gotten rid of the spores in the air and stuff like that. But evidently, they're still... The shows are following the story. They haven't taken, like, the characters and just gone, now there's this story happening. They are following the story of the game.
Oh, okay. Wait, so they're not spore monsters anymore?
They're still spore monsters, but they got rid of the spores being in the air as the way of moving because they didn't want the characters running around with like masks on and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's why they made a decision. But evidently, it is. Apart from that, it's sort of following the story of the game, which is why people are liking it because it's not like with Halo.
Yes.
Where they took the story's there, and then he went, and now we're going to change it into this, or Assassin's Creed, and we're going to change it into this.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes that's the right thing to do. I think it depends on the format, right? Like if it's a movie, don't try and force a 40-hour game storyline into a 2-hour movie because it's going to...
But the TV show...
Yeah, TV show, sure.
You've got that time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, just don't try... You don't need to reinvent the entire story to make it work. Just make the game a movie.
Yeah.
Or a TV show. And I think they've done it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that because it's a show, not a movie, that's why it's...
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I did also saw Halo used as an example of like, because I think the Halo show was fine. It just wasn't...
It was fine, but it's nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, right. Okay. And then there's another one too.
Apart from...
I forget what it was. Something else they adapted.
Yeah. But no, I think this is like the first one that's, people are raving about, which I'll never watch because I have no interest in The Last of Us.
I'll watch it at some point. I'm sure.
Let me know.
I will. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Once you pay that extra $1.
Yeah. Or I'll go to sail to Tortuga, perhaps. I'll pay an extra piece of 8.
I don't know what it's out. Is it in Australia yet? I don't know what it would be on here.
HBO Max. Binge.
Yeah. Binge.
What was?
I forget Binge exists all the time.
What was Zack Snyder's Justice League on?
I think that was Binge.
Yeah, that's HBO.
Let me have a look.
Or Game of Thrones. Where's Game of Thrones? Oh, Fox probably, actually.
Game of Thrones is on Binge.
Yeah, but is that... Because Binge is Fox owned, right? Australia's weird like that because Fox has all these existing agreements that fuck over everybody else. Because it was only Foxtel for who knows how long.
And do you know people still have Foxtel? They
people still have
pay for it religiously because that's what they have. They don't use it. They use their box to log on to Netflix.
Yeah, a lot of people here pay a lot of money, like as in like hundreds of dollars a month, to have all of these cable channels, and I'm like, I don't even want them. Like, I can't imagine ever doing that.
We in my house we don't have We don't have live TV. We don't have the Aero set up. We don't have cable. All we have is just all streaming services.
Same.
Because it has everything we need.
Yeah. Because when I want to watch a thing, I want to watch it when I want to watch it. I don't want to be like, oh, it's 8:30. I got to watch this thing now.
And still have ads.
Yes. More and more ads. And that's the thing too, is that when we first got Foxtel, there weren't ads because it was like,
no,
because I'm paying for it. There shouldn't be ads. Exactly. Because I'm paying you to not have to see that. And then eventually over time, it's like, oh, we got to put ads too. So now I'm paying and I'm watching ads. What the fuck? Hulu wants to do that, I think. It's like, we want to pay and show. Or was it Netflix? Like, no.
I think
I'm paying
one
you.
of them was looking at how they were trying to bring in ads in between the shows. I don't think they're going to put it in the middle, but in between.
I get annoyed when I put on a show on Apple TV or even, I think, Prime TV does this too.
Yeah, and it's got that pre-roll.
Yeah, and it's an ad. And I'm like, oh, no, but it's an ad for a show that's on the network. I don't care, mate.
Yeah, I'm not watching that show. I'm watching this show.
Yeah, I want to watch the thing I put on. Just put it on.
I can sort of understand having an ad maybe between episodes of a TV show.
I mean, it's not as bad. In the middle of an episode
it's not as bad.
So fucking
middle
annoying.
episode bad. But imagine you're watching, I need to go to the toilet. Instead of pausing, get up, go to the toilet, come back.
It's to the point where
why I think
I'll put on, when we were watching Psych, we were doing our Psych watch through, and there was, I think I told you, there's like a weird phenomenon where some seasons of that are on Prime, maybe, and then some of them are on like Peacock or some other streaming service here. And when we got to that point, we had to switch. And I get Prime because I have Amazon Prime for not paying for delivery and shit. But Peacock I didn't have, and then we started watching it and it had ads, and I was like, how much is it? $8 a month? Fine, I will pay $8 not to see this shit. It's like, don't show me ads, fuck's sake.
No,
I'll give you money.
I'm fine.
I don't want to see them.
Show me targeted ads on the internet and I'm fine.
Yeah, wow.
I don't want to watch ads. Just let them subconsciously go into my mind by seeing them in the corner of a screen.
The targeted ads thing is funny too. Like, I know you're right, and I feel like Jenna says the same thing. It's like, wouldn't you rather see ads that are relevant? But it's like, I mean, I'd rather see no ads, but I guess you're right. But then also, that just means they're like creepily following you around the web, looking at what you look at, and like making a profile of you. It's all a bit creepy.
I know they think there's someone sitting there going, all right, what's he going to click on now?
I know it's you have an assigned fucking ad officer who's like in charge of what you see.
There's a couple of them because there's a shift worker and they've got to hand over.
Who's in charge of Luke Alderson today? Yeah. Well, that's like that thing with when people say they mention something out loud and then suddenly they see ads for it. And it's like that won't go away despite all of the claims. Like, was it Instagram? Somebody went hiking with a friend and said that while they were literally at the top of a mountain where they literally didn't have any phone reception, they had a conversation about some hiking equipment. And then when he got back, he saw ads for this thing that they discussed. And Instagram was like, well, yeah, you got back and posted a bunch of photos that you took up there. So you saw ads for hiking equipment, and you've confirmation bias. You've honed in on the one that you discussed, and then it's like, it could be that, or maybe you were listening.
I was talking to someone at work, and they all said they were talking about something, and then he went like, I didn't look at it to come up. I was like getting ads for it, and I went, but did he look it up?
Yeah,
went,
right.
Yeah, I looked it up, and well, yeah, because your phones are together.
Or did you look up something related, like? Yeah,
because it'll go off. They'll take the data from your phone and then it'll match it with people that you send to be around and go, hey, well, you might like this as well. Like, since you're with this person,
in a way, is even more creepy than them just fucking listening, right?
Yes,
they're like, no, we don't listen. We just look at all these other data points and figure out what you said anyway. Like, all right,
look, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
It costs me money when I see an ad and I go, oh, I'm buying this.
I saw a funny
makes me poor
post the other day about, it was something about how, I think the context was men love telling on themselves. And it was how, I think we talked about this before, how Instagram, the stories or whatever the little video things are.
Mhm.
If you click on one, it'll show you more of that kind of thing. And so I think Bill Burr has a bit about this too, actually. Whereas if you're on Instagram and then it shows you a video of like a chick in a bikini and you click on it, you're fucked. Because it's just, because you can't, you're scrolling through and it's like, oh, there's another one and like men being men. It's like, so it was this whole thing about all these screenshots of men complaining like, why is my Instagram stories just all naked women or like softcore porn of women, not naked women, but it's like, because
that's what you look at.
Because they know that even like they can tell what your eye is drawn to, or if you like scroll, someone from Twitter said that they do this. Like if you're scrolling and you come to an ad that's like a scantily clad woman, and if you stop scrolling even for a second, then Instagram goes, oh, he likes that. Yeah, so creepy.
I do get some weird stuff that sometimes cosplay can take a twist. Sometimes,
yeah.
I've
certainly had that happen. Yeah, because who's that photographer? Blue something? I think it's an Australian photographer who takes a lot of videos at all the conventions and stuff like that. And then, I mean, cosplay does have a scantily clad woman problem. I'm saying problem in quotes because is it a problem? I don't know.
But I don't think it's a problem.
No, it's a thing, and
it is a thing.
Yeah, and so
I think the problem with it is the creepy guys. There are some creepy guys who go around and take photos of them.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not saying they all are. There are some.
It's like
photographers.
Remember that supernova we showed up and there were like fucking signs everywhere that were like, "Stop touching women." Like, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Yeah, but she's wearing it. Yeah, she's wearing it. Like, doesn't mean
you can go and touch her.
Yeah, fuck, man, stop it.
I don't know how people think that would be acceptable anywhere.
No.
Just because you're wearing cosplay doesn't mean you can... Yeah, no, people are weird.
Cosplay is not consent.
But everyone, you can touch me.
No matter
you
what
see
you're
me,
wearing.
you want a hug, you come straight up to me.
No matter what Luke's wearing. Hey, I have a funny article from Red Letter Media, who we've talked about a lot before. One of my favorite YouTube channels. They did this amazing thing. They raised $80,000 for charity. So they have a very large VHS collection, which you would know if you watch the channel. They did a lot of VHS stuff. And there's a South African movie called Nuki, which is like a ripoff of E.T. about an alien who comes to Earth and his brother gets like kidnapped by scientists and he's trying to rescue him. Apparently it's like an atrocious movie.
I want to see it.
Yeah, but it's one of those. It's like a rare movie, right?
Yeah.
And so what they for many, many, many years they've been saying, if you have a copy of it on VHS, send it in. We want to collect them, right? So they had like 1,000-ish copies of this movie on VHS. And what they did, they took the one that was in the best condition. It was still sealed, right? Sealed VHS copy of this movie. They had it graded by one of those professional services, graded and like put in a sealed thing, right? I
think they're a bit of a scam, but
no. Well, actually, they have a video on that too. That wasn't the point, because then they took all of the other videotapes that they had of it and put them in a wood chipper. So there was only one, and then they auctioned the one copy of Nuki on eBay. It sold for $80,000 and they donated the money to charity. Amazing.
That's sort of is.
So, no, but how funny is that? It was already
they
rare. They collected all the copies they could, destroyed all but one. Now it's even more rare, and then they sold it. So good.
It's good, but also, I don't know.
What don't you know? I think it's amazing. So funny. But also for charity. If people want because there are people who like to collect these and they wanted it to be in their collection. Well, they shouldn't have sent it into Red Letter Media then. No, I think it's great. We have friends
who collect VHS tapes.
No, I know.
They may have wanted a copy.
I know. He probably has one.
After this, we finish recording, I'm going to go find a copy of Nuki and I'm going to watch it.
You're going to pay $80,000 for it.
Looks terrible.
Yeah. It's very famously, yeah. I think if anybody in Australia has a copy of Nuki, I think we're talking about the same person.
Yeah.
It's going to be that person.
It'll be that. Yeah.
We can name Craig, right?
Yes, we can say Craig.
Like, why are we dancing around this?
Well, why? Yeah. Our friend Craig, he collects.
Yes.
We follow him on Instagram and he's posting stuff all the time about it.
It's a fucking massive
He's got a
VHS
huge
collection. If you watch The Tail Job,
collection.
that place we're in that has all the videotapes and stuff, that's his apartment.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought
Go
this
around
was
and see
great.
if he's got a copy. It is. It's a very nice thing for charity.
Yeah, and a funny stunt, obviously.
It's funny.
For the YouTube channel.
I also find it a bit weird that someone would pay $80,000 because
I know it's a lot of money for a piece of shit movie.
that to have that value, you can't watch it.
No, it's sealed up now, I think.
It's sealed up, and if you unseal it,
a friend of ours, a good friend of ours, who you have probably met. It's one of Jenna's best friends' dad. He's also a good friend of ours. He's a cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
He has a copy of Fantastic Four #1, and he went to I don't think it was Rhode Island Comic Con. It was one of them. He went to one of the comic, maybe Connecticut Con or something. Anyway, he went to one of them, and he went to one of those booths that have they have the, they grade the comics and put them in the seal and they give you all that kind of stuff. And he went up and he put it down and he said, "I just wanted to see what this is worth." And the guy looked at it, flipped it over, and said, "I wouldn't put that face up and leave it unattended." Like he said, "Hang on a minute. Yeah, you need to be a bit careful with that."
And let me get something to protect it for you.
Yeah. So he got it graded, and I think it got it pretty high. It was literally his copy from when he was a kid, and he got it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know how much it's worth exactly, but yeah, fair bit. But he said, he was just like, I just want to see how much this is worth. Threw it down. The guy was like, "Yeah, don't go throwing that around, mate, unless you want it stolen."
And that does happen at those events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where the people who want that stuff are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have to ask one thing with the people. Back to just the Nuki for a second.
Yes.
So, because it gets down to Derek, the money that I was to use to bid for it, could that be a tax deduction because it went to charity?
You're asking me.
Yes.
The person who doesn't even live in the same country as you anymore and didn't know his money was there. I guess my answer remains the same. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. I just needed to know.
Yeah.
And I still don't. And I won't look into
maybe
it
if Dan
any
was
further
here, he
than
could
that.
answer that, but I doubt it. I doubt he would know either.
I doubt it because you're not giving it to charity exactly.
No.
But Red Letter Media, they get an 80,000 title.
Yeah, they've written that off for sure.
Yeah. What do we want to talk about next?
We've got this made me laugh. Oh, so there's another aspect to this one too, right? So we talked about Avatar quite a bit, and we poo-pooed this new Avatar movie, and we have been proven quite wrong.
I still don't know how.
Successful.
Oh no, I know how. When I went to see this, when it came out, I went with my sister. The audience in there was old.
Oh, you think they're so old they forgot they saw it and they went and saw it again?
You got old people to go.
Right.
People like 20 years older than us.
Terminator fans.
James Cameron's got a movie, we should go see it.
Yeah, right.
You remember Titanic? It's them.
Yeah.
That's the audience. Because it's
from
not
the director of Piranha 2.
My sister liked it. I just think it's a very long movie.
That's your opinion on it, is that it's very long.
It was better than the first one. It's very long, but some bits need to be longer and some parts need to be shorter.
People tell me that all the time.
But, very wrong. He's made lots and lots of money,
yes.
And so he will get to finish making the rest of it.
Almost a certainty that 3 and 4 will happen at this point. And
3's already done. They're doing film.
Oh, good point. 4 and 5?
Special effects. 4 and 5. And then he just talks about 6 and 7 now.
This article made me laugh just because Vin Diesel is the funny guy to me. And he's a very
Do you mean he's funny or...
He's very clout chasey,
Yes.
Right? And so years ago, he posted a picture on his Instagram of him and James Cameron saying, this is what he... there's one person in Hollywood I've always wanted to work with and learn from, and so all things come, I guess, to those who wait. There was a photo of him and James Cameron standing together. And then in an interview after that, someone asked him about it, and he said, I love James Cameron and I love the series, and I think it's safe to say that we will be working together. And
have they?
Well, it has now been confirmed that he's not in Avatar. He, in fact, who is it? Come on.
That'd be a bit of a problem for him since James Cameron's only doing Avatar movies until he dies now.
Yeah. Well, and John Landau, producer of the Avatar sequels, has said, Vin was a fan. He came in, visited the set one day to see what we were doing, and people took that out of context. And he's being polite there.
I think he took it out of context.
I think you'll find Vin Diesel took that out of context. He somehow thought he was in the movie. So, yeah, I just thought that was really funny. That
I don't know if I like Vin Diesel because I think he is a bit like that.
There's a really funny video by Drew Gooden on YouTube about Vin Diesel and about his like Facebook lives and stuff like that I think is worth watching. It's just his Facebook posts, like I guess he likes elephants. Vin Diesel likes elephants. People do a lot of fan art of him with elephants. I don't know.
Elephants?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why, but he does a whole video just about how Vin Diesel is on Facebook, and it's very funny.
Okay.
And I think that's where I get this.
I
think that's why I think Vin Diesel's funny, is just because he pointed all that out, and then I saw this, and I'm like, oh, that's just fucking typical Vin Diesel. He got a photo with James Cameron, and then made it sound like he was in the movie. It's like if I posted that photo of me and Lance Henriksen and said, I've always wanted to be in a movie with Lance Henriksen, and here's a photo of me with him. You do the math. Well, the actual answer to the mathematical equation is I met Lance Henriksen at a convention.
But he went one step further.
Right. Well, he
was saying that, and I think it's safe to say,
pretty heavily
wink,
implied
wink, it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty safe to say we'll be working together. Yeah, but I mean, that's still not. He could say, "Oh, yeah," but I wasn't specific.
I think it's safe to say that we'll be working together. It's pretty.
Yeah, fair enough.
We're going to be working together.
I'm a fan of Avatar, and I think it's safe to say I was visiting the set, and I will not be in the film.
Honestly, I think this was just a way for him to try. He wants to be in it, and he thought if maybe he got enough excitement around it, he'll get the call.
Because I think isn't the reason he's Groot because he had the fans like make a fuss about it because he wanted to be in a Marvel movie or something like that, and then of all the fucking roles, he just says I am Groot,
and he records every single one of them. It's not just
he's
a copy and paste,
multi-bajillion-dollar paycheck.
And I think he does all of the different languages as well. I could be wrong on that.
That's funny. If true, that is very funny.
Mi chiamo Groot.
Groot, different languages.
Watashi wa Groot desu. I know 2 languages. Wait, that's 3. I English, I Italian, and I Japanese. Oh, and hang on a minute. I know French. How do you say? Come on, I know this. French.
Don't ask me.
Bonjour. I mean, obviously, bonjour is French. There was supposed to be a follow-up bit that I've completely forgotten. Just to be clear, that wasn't supposed to be impressive. I have failed to remember the bit that comes after that.
It's no, I can't even. I know what it is, but my brain doesn't do it. Yes, he had learned the lines in different languages.
Learn the line.
Learn the line.
Singular.
Yes, in different languages.
Oh no, he does have 2 lines.
Oh, we are Groot.
He says we are Groot one time.
Yeah, in the first movie. Never again. Did he do the voice in the sequel?
Yeah. I'm sure he did. With a pitch shifter on, so he sounded like Terry Smallshoe.
Yeah.
I am Groot. Yeah. See, I don't even need one. James Gunn, give me a call. I'll do it for much less than Vin Diesel without a pitch shifter.
You'd be working in DC, though.
No,
You'd be in DC now.
He's already done number 3. Fuck. No, wait. Yep. Maybe they're still doing the ADR. ADR as if like Groot's on set and they just like it's like David Prowse. Groot is like replaced by me. Or,
I don't know because it comes out in 3 months or 4 months.
Yeah, right.
It comes out
okay. All right.
4th of May.
And they probably did the holiday special at the same time, now that I think about it. Because that was almost certainly one of the stipulations was that you've got to film this shit at the same time so it doesn't cost as much money.
Because, they filmed the holiday special really cheaply.
Did you watch that yet?
I did. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, it's good.
It was good. It was a bit of fun. But, it was not. It's not like they didn't spend as much money as they did normally.
I want this little man.
And then he gets it as a present.
I know. I've got to say, for all of, like, as ridiculous as Drax is, and, like, all the fuss about Dave Bautista's Drax, because Drax, he's right. Drax is a fucking stupid character. For somebody who wants to be a proper actor, Drax must be fucking annoying for him. He wants to be taken seriously. But
then also, I think it's also the character that really made him and got him
and
to those other roles.
And he's so funny as Drax. Like, he
just does it so well. It's a shame he just, I can understand. Like
absolutely. But also, he should keep doing it. But he won't.
Yes. just keep doing it. Like, there's not going to be many more. Well, when is it? I think it's 4th of May, 5th of May, meant to come out.
Oh yeah, May the 4th be the day before.
I think it is May the 4th here.
Is it? Okay, so we get on the 5th.
But it's one of those weird things. I think they missed a great marketing opportunity again because the new Jedi game comes out in April.
I was like, new Jedi game.
I don't understand, or March, and I don't understand why you don't just hold it out to May and just get in that free advertising.
Yeah, Disney's usually better at that.
Not with the games for some reason. But
they
even when
like cancelling those.
But even with the movies, like some of them have come out like around May, but they've never sort of dialed into. Let's put it like close to this date, if not on.
Yeah, right.
I've never understood why. Is there another Star Wars movie?
Not soon, right? Isn't Taika Waititi's doing one? And then also...
Everyone's doing one, but is anyone actually doing it?
They announced someone else was doing one. It was not Rian Johnson. It was somebody else.
Rian Johnson.
He keeps announcing that he's doing them. They've been quiet about that.
Because it's meant to be like an Old Republic one or something.
Yes, that's right. And it was... who was it? Yeah, someone was doing a High Republic, rather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then everything's just gone quiet.
I did see that thing I sent you that made me laugh about fans of The Mandalorian who didn't watch Boba Fett because they heard it was terrible are going to be very confused when they start watching Mandalorian Season 3 and Grogu is suddenly just back. And Mando has like a new spaceship and it's like, oh yeah, that's fucking weird. Like, why did they do that?
I don't know if they'll keep the same ship.
Like, was that just a plan to get people to watch Boba Fett? Like, what a weird thing to do. Is that have like the plot of another show fundamentally modified by a different show. I will admit,
when it got to that, Boba Fett became good again. Because it was a terrible show until then.
I know, I agree with you. So, I don't know. This is a very weird thing to do. Like, when you look at it like that.
It's just so weird. They're doing Marvel great, and then Star Wars, they just...
well, this is the thing we were always worried about with... you remember when they did the Marvel movies, and then they did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and people... I think we probably talked about this. It was like, do I have to watch this show to watch the movies, or am I going to be confused now? And it turned out, no. But maybe in the case of the Star Wars shows, yes. Like, you have to watch all of them, otherwise you'll be confused.
Yeah.
That's
if you did skip over...
Don't do that shit.
What?
Like, if I'm a Mandalorian fan, I should be able to just watch that show, right?
Yeah. maybe you can have characters crossover, but it should be like a main plot point happening in a different show for you. That's wrong.
Yeah, like Buffy and Angel. They had crossovers.
Yeah.
For the periods that they were on the same networks. There was a little period in there where they didn't, because they were on different networks.
That's right, we started watching Buffy again. We're up to season 5 or 6 now.
Oh, yeah?
We'll get it around to finishing it one day.
5 is Glory, if that helps.
We're up to 6.
Okay. The trio?
Yep.
Yeah. And Spike? Wink, wink. Mm.
Haven't got there yet.
No.
The one that Sarah Michelle Gellar came out this week saying that's the one she doesn't watch with her kids yet.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
She says it's a little bit too old for them at the moment, and she's not a fan of that.
Yeah,
one.
things escalate in a sexual way in that season.
Yes.
Mm. Well, season 4 a bit too, actually, with Riley. There was an episode where they just banging the whole episode.
Oh, yeah, and the house is feeding off their energy.
Yeah, yeah. This
they're
sexy,
just
sexy energy. That's a terrible episode. Because Riley sucks. And it should have been me.
Well, that was back in the days where you had to have like the 26 whatever episodes, and so you had fillers.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely had filler episodes.
They had a lot of fillers.
Some of the fillers are really good though. The one where Jonathan is like creates the alternate reality where he's a superhero, like that was a fucking amazing episode.
Yes,
and that would be a filler technically.
Mm. Should we look at heading over to the after party?
What's the after party, Luke?
The after party is we will continue to talk for another maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes about bits and pieces. A bit more risque stuff sometimes.
How would I listen to the after party if I was interested in hearing us talk about said risque topics?
You would go to patreon.com/multiple-nerdgasm. You would have a look at some of the tiers in there. I think it's the $10 tier you would select.
That's
and
correct.
You pays $10 a month. And then every week you get the podcast. This main show's a day early, and you also get the after party.
Correct.
I did that well.
You did. You're a born salesman. You should shill crypto.
Make my
I don't think we have anything risque. Just listeners, be warned.
We don't. Yeah, there's nothing really risque.
There's some interesting stuff, I think. There's something I wanted to mention that's probably interesting.
We're going to talk about Twitter, I think.
We're going to talk about Twitter, yeah.
So if you want to hear us talk about Twitter, give us money.
I promise it'll be more interesting than that sounds.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.